A young girl boarded a plane, excited for her flight. She had a first-class ticket, but when she reached the front cabin, a flight attendant stopped her. The attendant insisted she couldn't sit there and told her to move to the back. Confused and hurt, the girl asked why she was being denied access to her seat. The girl stood firm, politely explaining that her ticket clearly showed she was assigned a first-class seat. The flight attendant, however, seemed unwilling to listen and kept repeating that she needed to move. Passengers nearby started noticing the situation, whispering and staring. The girl felt a mix of frustration and disbelief. Why was she being treated like this despite having every right to be there? Her father, who was traveling in economy just a few rows behind, noticed the commotion. Curious, he walked up to the front cabin and calmly asked the flight attendant to explain what was happening. The attendant stumbled over her words, unable to provide a clear answer. The father calmly introduced himself as the owner of the airline. The entire cabin fell silent. The flight attendant's face went pale, and she suddenly became very apologetic. She stammered out an apology, clearly realizing her mistake. The passengers around started murmuring in surprise. No one had expected the situation to escalate like this. The father then turned to his daughter with a reassuring smile and told her to take her rightful seat. The flight attendant quickly moved aside, making way. As the girl settled into her first-class seat, the atmosphere in the cabin shifted. The crew members exchanged uncomfortable glances, knowing they had mishandled the situation badly. Word quickly spread through the cabin about who the father was, and the passengers' attitudes shifted from confusion to admiration. Some of the flight attendants who had been watching the scene unfold began to whisper among themselves. The airline's management was immediately informed about the incident, and the father requested a meeting with the entire crew involved. During the meeting, he made it clear that such behavior was unacceptable and did not reflect the values his airline stood for. He emphasized respect, fairness, and professionalism as the core principles that every employee must uphold, regardless of the situation or passenger. The staff listened intently, many feeling remorseful for how the girl had been treated. The father didn't just stop at words. To show he was serious, he decided to take swift action. Within minutes, the flight attendants involved were informed they would be temporarily suspended pending further review. The message was clear: the airline would not tolerate any mistreatment or improper conduct, no matter who was involved. As the plane prepared for takeoff, the atmosphere on board had completely transformed. Passengers who had earlier been uneasy now looked at the girl and her father with newfound respect. The girl's confidence grew as she realized that standing up for herself had made a difference, not just for her, but potentially for many others in the future. Back in the cabin, the flight attendants who remained on duty were reminded of the importance of treating every passenger with dignity and courtesy. The airline owner personally spoke to the crew, sharing stories about the airline's mission to create a welcoming environment for everyone, no matter their background. The incident quickly became a turning point within the company. New training sessions were planned, focusing on empathy, awareness, and professionalism. The airline made a public statement reaffirming their commitment to providing excellent service to all passengers. Meanwhile, the girl, now comfortably seated in first class, smiled at her father. She knew that this moment was bigger than just one flight. It was about respect, fairness, and changing the way things are done. After landing, the story didn't end there. News about the incident began to spread across social media and news outlets, capturing the public's attention. Many people praised the girl for her courage and the father for standing up for what's right. The airline's response was also commended for its swift and transparent handling of the situation. Inspired by the experience, the airline owner launched a company-wide initiative to improve customer service and staff training. This included workshops focused on recognizing unconscious biases and fostering a culture of genuine respect and inclusion. The goal was clear: no passenger should ever feel dismissed or undervalued while flying with them. The girl, too, became a symbol of strength and dignity. She spoke at schools and community centers, sharing her story and encouraging others to stand firm in the face of unfair treatment. Her voice became a powerful example of how one person's courage can inspire positive change. In the months that followed, the airline saw a noticeable improvement in customer satisfaction. The crew became more attentive and respectful, and passengers reported feeling welcomed regardless of where they sat or who they were. What had started as a difficult moment on a flight turned into a catalyst for meaningful progress within the company and beyond. Months passed, and the airline had transformed in remarkable ways. The incident that once caused tension became a pivotal moment that reshaped company culture from top to bottom. The owner personally visited various departments, meeting with employees to listen and learn how the new training programs were making a difference. The young girl, now somewhat of a local hero, continued to share her story on bigger platforms, conferences, media interviews, and youth empowerment events. Her message was clear and inspiring: standing up for your rights with respect and calmness can create change far beyond what you imagine. The airline, bolstered by its renewed values, gained a reputation not only for luxury and comfort but also for genuine respect and kindness. Passengers praised the warmth of the staff and the fairness they experienced on every flight. Employee morale improved significantly, and the company saw a rise in both customer loyalty and staff retention. One day, during a major company event, the owner announced a new scholarship fund in the girl's name, designed to support young people from all backgrounds who aspire to careers in aviation. The crowd applauded loudly, recognizing the profound impact of one courageous girl and her father's leadership. What started as a tense encounter on a single flight had blossomed into a powerful story of respect, leadership, and change, showing that even difficult moments can lead to brighter futures when met with integrity and courage. The airline's transformation did not go unnoticed in the wider industry. Other companies began looking to this story as a blueprint for improving their own customer service and staff training programs. Invitations came for the airline's owner and the young girl to speak at aviation conferences and corporate diversity workshops, highlighting how leadership and courage can create real change. Meanwhile, the scholarship fund quickly gained momentum, attracting donations from partners and supporters who believed in the mission. Young students from various communities applied, eager for the opportunity to pursue their dreams in aviation, inspired by the story of the girl who once stood up for her rightful place. Inside the company, employees felt a renewed sense of pride. Stories of kindness, respect, and support became common, replacing the old narratives of misunderstanding and discomfort. Flight attendants and staff members worked harder to create positive experiences for every traveler, recognizing the profound effect their actions could have. The young girl's family often reflected on that day on the plane. What had seemed like a painful moment had become the spark for something much bigger, a movement toward fairness and understanding in a world that desperately needed it. They knew their journey was far from over, but they faced the future with hope, knowing that standing up for what's right always mattered. As the story continued to inspire change far beyond the airline, the young girl's journey took on a new dimension. Schools began inviting her to speak about resilience, fairness, and the importance of standing firm with dignity, no matter the challenge. Her message resonated deeply with students from all walks of life, encouraging them to believe in their worth and never accept being sidelined unjustly. The airline also introduced a mentorship program, pairing experienced crew members with new hires to foster a supportive environment from day one. This program focused on empathy, communication, and cultural awareness, ensuring that every employee understood the vital role they played in creating a welcoming atmosphere for passengers. Media outlets featured in-depth interviews with the girl and her father, highlighting not just the incident but the long-lasting changes that had followed. The coverage helped to shift public conversations toward inclusivity and respect within industries where customer service and personal interaction are critical. Even the flight attendants involved in the initial incident took part in restorative sessions, where they openly discussed what went wrong and how to improve. Many expressed genuine remorse and a desire to grow, turning the painful experience into a valuable lesson in humility and professionalism. The airline's leadership continued to monitor progress closely, committed to maintaining the momentum. They understood that real change required ongoing effort, reflection, and a willingness to listen to every voice, passenger and employee alike. Ultimately, the story became a testament to the power of courage, leadership, and compassion, a reminder that every person deserves respect and that positive change is always possible when people stand together for what is right. The ripple effects of that single flight incident reached far beyond the airline industry. Advocacy groups and community leaders began citing the story as an example of how accountability and leadership can transform organizations. Workshops and seminars were organized around the country to discuss best practices in customer service, diversity, and workplace respect, often referencing the airline's proactive response. At the airline, new technologies were introduced to better track and improve passenger experience. Feedback systems became more accessible, allowing travelers to share their stories and concerns directly with management. This transparency created a culture where issues could be addressed promptly, preventing misunderstandings before they escalated. The girl, now growing into a confident young woman, continued her involvement with the scholarship program, often mentoring younger recipients. Her personal growth was evident. Not only had she found her voice, but she was helping others find theirs too. Her father's leadership style evolved as well. He became an advocate for inclusive business practices, speaking at international forums about the importance of combining strong values with strategic vision. His story reminded leaders everywhere that success is not only measured by profits but by the respect and dignity shown to every individual. Within the airline, staff morale soared. Employees felt genuinely valued and motivated to contribute their best every day. The company's reputation for kindness and fairness attracted a more diverse customer base, and ticket sales increased as passengers sought out the airline for its outstanding service. This journey, born from a moment of challenge and injustice, became a powerful example of how integrity, courage, and compassion can reshape not only a company but an entire community. Years later, the story of the young girl and her father's leadership remained a beacon of hope and change. The airline had become a global example of excellence, not just in luxury, but in fairness and respect. Passengers from all over the world flew with confidence, knowing they would be treated with dignity no matter their background or ticket class. The scholarship fund in the girl's name continued to grow, supporting hundreds of aspiring aviators and hospitality professionals each year. Many of the recipients credited the program for giving them the opportunity to pursue their dreams and create better lives for themselves and their families. The girl herself had grown into a remarkable young woman, now an ambassador for kindness and leadership. She worked with nonprofits, schools, and businesses to promote empathy and respect, reminding people everywhere that change starts with courage, and that every voice matters. The airline's commitment to continuous improvement led to innovations in customer care, diversity training, and employee well-being. New generations of staff embraced these values, ensuring the company's legacy would endure for decades to come. Looking back, the father often reflected on that flight, the moment when a simple act of standing up for what was right sparked a movement. What had begun as a difficult confrontation had blossomed into a powerful story of transformation, inspiring countless others to demand fairness and lead with integrity. In the end, the true legacy was clear: respect and kindness are not just ideals, but actions that can change the world, one flight at a time. Years after the incident, the airline continued to evolve, becoming a global leader not only in aviation but in setting standards for fairness and respect across industries. The ripple effects reached far beyond the company's walls, influencing other businesses to prioritize empathy and dignity in every customer interaction. The young girl, now a well-respected figure in leadership circles, frequently shared her journey, highlighting the importance of standing up calmly and confidently for what is right. Her story was incorporated into leadership training programs and youth empowerment initiatives worldwide, inspiring countless individuals to become advocates for change. Meanwhile, the scholarship fund in her name expanded into a foundation supporting diversity in aviation and hospitality. It provided mentorship, internships, and career development opportunities, breaking down barriers for young people from underrepresented communities. Inside the airline, culture of continuous learning and openness flourished. The leadership regularly solicited feedback from employees and passengers, adapting policies to reflect evolving values and societal progress. This commitment helped maintain a workplace where everyone felt valued and heard. Reflecting on the journey, the airline's owner emphasized that true leadership is rooted in humility and service. The moment his daughter was denied her rightful place on that flight became a catalyst for a much larger mission, one that continues to drive positive transformation across the world. This story, from a single moment of challenge to a lasting legacy, reminds us all, change begins when we stand with courage, speak with conviction, and lead with heart. The impact of that single flight continued to grow in unexpected ways. Educational institutions began using the story as a case study in courses on ethics, leadership, and customer service. Students learned how small moments of courage and fairness can ripple outward, influencing entire communities and industries. The airline established partnerships with organizations focused on social justice and equality, sponsoring initiatives aimed at reducing disparities and promoting inclusiveness. These collaborations further strengthened the company's commitment to creating a welcoming environment for all. The young girl, now a prominent speaker and advocate, dedicated herself to mentoring the next generation of leaders. Her journey inspired others to embrace resilience and integrity, showing that standing up with kindness is a powerful form of leadership. Within the airline, employees took pride in their role as ambassadors of change. Stories of positive passenger experiences became the norm, shared widely across social media and company communications. This culture of respect and accountability transformed not only customer relations but also team dynamics, fostering collaboration and mutual support. The father, reflecting on the journey, often reminded his team and family that leadership is not about authority but about responsibility, to act justly, listen deeply, and serve with compassion. His daughter's courage had taught everyone a profound lesson: when fairness is upheld with grace, it has the power to transform lives and shape a better future. This continuing legacy stands as a testament to the difference one moment, one voice, and one choice can make in the world. The story's influence reached far beyond aviation, inspiring leaders in various sectors to examine their own practices and commit to fostering inclusive environments. Conferences and forums often cited the airline's journey as a prime example of how accountability and empathy can drive meaningful change in corporate culture. The airline's training programs evolved into comprehensive leadership development courses, open not only to employees but also to community members and industry peers. These programs emphasized emotional intelligence, cultural sensitivity, and ethical decision-making, equipping participants with tools to lead with integrity. The girl's advocacy work expanded globally. She collaborated with international organizations dedicated to youth empowerment and social justice, helping shape policies that promote equal opportunity and respect in workplaces around the world. Inside the airline, technology and innovation were harnessed to further enhance passenger experiences. From improved communication tools for staff to real-time feedback systems, the company invested heavily in creating seamless, respectful interactions between crew and travelers. The father's vision for the airline became a blueprint for compassionate leadership, one that balances business success with social responsibility. His daughter's story remained a constant reminder that every individual's dignity matters, and that courage and kindness can rewrite the narrative of any challenge. Together, their journey illuminated a powerful truth: transformation begins when we choose respect over exclusion, understanding over judgment, and action over silence. As the years unfolded, the legacy of that pivotal flight became a cornerstone of the airline's identity. What began as a difficult moment of misunderstanding evolved into a comprehensive movement toward equity and respect, not just within the airline, but across the travel industry worldwide. The girl, now a young leader and role model, launched a global initiative focused on empowering youth to advocate for fairness and inclusion in their communities. This initiative provided resources, mentorship, and platforms for young voices to be heard, ensuring that courage in the face of adversity would continue to inspire generations. The airline itself became a partner in numerous social impact projects, supporting education, environmental sustainability, and community development. These efforts reinforced the company's commitment to being more than just a business, but a force for positive change. Employees at every level embraced the company's renewed mission, taking pride in their roles as ambassadors of respect and compassion. Regular workshops and open forums encouraged dialogue, helping to dismantle barriers and build a culture where every voice mattered. The father's leadership philosophy, centered on humility, accountability, and empathy, became a case study in effective and ethical business management. He frequently spoke at international conferences, advocating for leadership that serves the greater good. Reflecting on their journey, the family recognized that true progress stems from the courage to face injustice, the wisdom to listen, and the commitment to act with kindness. Their story proved that even the smallest moments can ignite movements, changing lives and industries for the better. The moment when the young girl was denied her rightful seat became more than just a personal experience, it sparked a transformation that resonated around the world. The airline's journey from that incident to becoming a symbol of respect and fairness showed how leadership rooted in empathy can rewrite narratives and set new standards. The girl's voice grew stronger with every speech and appearance, inspiring countless individuals to stand firm for their dignity. Her father's example of responsible and compassionate leadership became a guiding light for businesses everywhere, proving that true success is measured not only by profits but by the positive impact on people's lives. The airline continued to innovate, not just technologically but culturally, fostering a workplace where every employee and passenger felt valued and heard. Their commitment to transparency and continuous improvement earned accolades across industries and built deep trust with customers worldwide. As the Scholarship Foundation flourished, it created opportunities for many who had once faced barriers, turning dreams into reality and expanding the circle of influence far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Ultimately, their story reminds us all, when courage meets kindness and leadership embraces justice, even the smallest acts can lead to profound change. The flight that began with a challenge ended as a powerful legacy of hope, dignity, and the enduring power of standing up for what's right, one flight at a time.